What up, comic book fam? Welcome back to Comic Book Circumstances. I'm hitting you here with another video about some of my comic book lottery tickets that I've been purchasing. The idea that you could buy a book for $3 to $5 on the low end now, and with the expectation that something from the MCU or something from Netflix or something from one of these production companies is going to cause this book to shoot up in value, offering maybe a nice small profit, or maybe, if I'm lucky, a huge profit. I do have a previous video where I went over some of my earlier picks. If you would be interested in that, I'll go ahead and put a card up here in the top right corner. Go ahead and click that to check that out. My first book is related to a book that I had in my first video, and that is going to be Secret Warriors number 6. This is going to be the issue where Madam Hydra reveals herself to be Contessa, Valentina, and Fontaine, also known as Julia Louis-Dreyfus, introduced recently in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. A lot of hype around this character. They wouldn't bring someone in like that, a name like that, if she wasn't going to play a role going forward. What that role will be remains to be seen. Is she setting up some sort of Hydra story arc? Is she setting up some sort of Thunderbolt story arc? Is she setting up some sort of West Coast Avengers? A lot of things up in the air. We really don't know what it is. But this one is getting a lot of hype recently. Key Collector has it listed for $45. And when I bought this one, I got it for cover price, which is $3. So that is a nice little $42 profit there on one of those Lotto tickets from my first video. I would go ahead and check that one out if you have time. But I did go ahead and get the lesser book of the two. Logically, you would think that Secret Warriors number 2, which is the first appearance of Madam Hydra, period, would be the book that people were hype about. But it's actually not this one that they're hype about. It's the one where she reveals herself to be Contessa. But I was out and about this week and I came across this one. It's not getting nearly as much hype as number 6. But if you look at Key Collector, it says that maybe this should be the one that everyone's focusing on, as it is the first appearance. Now, I actually disagree with that. I think that number 6 is a better pick simply because of that final panel where she reveals herself to be Madam Hydra, or she reveals that Contessa is Madam Hydra. It's a pretty dope panel, and I think that's probably the reason why it's driving higher speculation regarding this one. All right, now my next comic book lottery ticket pick is going to be a pick that I actually got from Swaggle Comics on YouTube. If you probably already know him, if you're watching a small channel like mine, you're probably already aware of a big growing channel like his. But in case you're not, I'll go ahead and put the link to his channel down in the subscription. My next pick is a video that he had a while back highlighting this one, and it was a long shot pick. But I liked it. I felt it. And that is going to be the Defenders 143. I actually picked up 2 copies, one for $4 and one for $2. This is a low dollar book, easy to get right now if you're feeling this speculation. But the reason why I'm picking this one up, the reason why Swaggle picked this one, is it is the first appearance of the Celestial, the Runner. Now, if you picked up Thanos Quest last week, you may be reminded that the Runner was the Celestial that Thanos took the Time Infinity Stone from. So he played a big role in that. But the real reason for the speculation is that he is a Celestial, and we do have a very big movie coming out here this fall, Eternals, which is very much going to center around Celestials, Deviants, Eternals, and humans. All of those things are going to play a big factor. There is no guarantee whatsoever that the Runner will play a role in this movie, but given his tie-in with Thanos and everything else, and the fact that he's a Celestial, I felt like it was worth throwing down $6 on 2 books just to see what happened. So that one is the Defenders 143, the first appearance of the Runner. He's the guy that got the Infinity Stone ganked from him, the Time Stone ganked from him by Thanos back in the Infinity Gauntlet. So I'm feeling real good about that one. Got that from Swaggle. We'll see how that one goes. And again, if it doesn't work out, I paid $6, so I'm going to be all right. Next one up is going to be related to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier that just finished on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. I really, really, really enjoyed it. But after watching the first like 3 or 4 episodes of this one, you kind of get the real feeling that John Walker was going to end up putting on the U.S. agent suit. And with that in mind, I really started looking at some of the Captain America Sam Wilson books that existed that may or may not blow up as a result of that show. And so I went out and found Sam Wilson Captain America number 13. I got this one for a cover price, so each of these were $4. And the reason why I picked this one up is the cover, strictly the cover. Now, part of me thought that maybe we would see a scene like this in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We did not. John Walker didn't put on the U.S. agent uniform until the very end, so we didn't get a chance to see anything like that. But I thought there was a very good chance that we could see U.S. agent pitted up against Sam Wilson, just like it was in this comic book. Now, in the comic book, U.S. agent John Walker is hired to go and take the shield from Sam Wilson, and they end up having a battle in the streets, which is where you're getting this cover from. I think that U.S. Agent Black Suit is so dope. I've been a fan of U.S. Agent since his Avengers West Coast days. That was my main comic back in. So when I saw this cover, I had to get it. It was so dope, at $4 each. Now, when I got this bad boy, it wasn't even listed on Key Collector, but because I liked the cover so much, I went ahead and grabbed it. Now this bad boy is listed on Key Collector, and it is listed for $15 each. So I spent $8 on it, and it currently, according to Key Collector, would have a value of $30, which is a decent little profit. But hopefully this one's not done going up. I don't think that it is, really. A lot of space for some conflict between U.S. Agent and Captain America. Now, I know that they seemed pretty cool there at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but they work for different entities with different goals, and I think that those might come into conflict real quick here in the near future. So, real excited about this Lotto ticket. Feel good. Already got some good gains on it, but I think that there's more to be had on that one. Next up, let's talk about Young Avengers number 1. Another one that I found for a cover price. This one was $3. Was pretty excited to find this one. This is going to be Young Avengers Volume 2, number 1. So the big hot one is going to be the number 1, Volume 1. That one's going for pretty good prices. This one is just getting started. But I think with everything going on, they're clearly setting up some sort of Young Avengers, future with Isaiah Bradley's son or nephew already being involved in the MCU. You've got Joaquin Torres already involved. You got a number of these people being set up that would be a part of the new younger Avengers group, which would possibly allow them to appeal to a younger audience and keep this MCU train going for generations to come. So for that reason, I found this bad boy in the back issue pile. I figured it was worth a $4 flyer. We'll see where this one goes, if it goes anywhere. All right, next up on my comic book lottery ticket list, I've got Wolverine 27. I found this in a back bin box for $3, and I thought that was a pretty cool price for this one. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's nothing significant about the story in Wolverine 27, but the reason why I bought this one is because it is a classic Jim Lee cover, and one of the things that drives books up in terms of prices is the MCU and things happening in production companies, absolutely. But another thing that drives it is the artist or on the cover. You see this with Todd McFarlane covers, especially old Amazing Spider-Man covers. People are highly sought after. The Batman cover from McFarlane. But you also see this with Jim Lee covers, one of the classic artists from the 90s. So when I saw this one for $3, I saw it was Jim Lee, and I saw that was a pretty dope looking Wolverine cover. I didn't hesitate to pick that one up. If you look at Key Collector on this one, I bought it for $3, and it's currently sitting at $15 in value. So That's a $12 profit already just off top. But I think that nostalgia is going to rise for Jim Lee covers, for Jim Lee art from back in the day. So I think this one still has a lot of room to grow. Excited about having this one in the collection. Next one up is a little bit more of an expensive buy. I got this one, I got the next two actually from atomicavenue.com. This is a pretty cool website that lists a number of different sellers in their entire shop, and then you can go in and buy from one particular seller. They usually have minimum orders, and then sometimes if you order enough you can get free shipping. But it's a pretty cool website with a pretty wide selection of old back issue comics. So if you're jumping in there trying to find a particular issue, I think it's a great website for doing that. And so I was poking around on this website, and the first one that I found and bought was Spider-Man 2099. This was actually a $10 buy, so it's a pretty expensive lottery ticket. But it was more than just a lottery ticket for me. This was a book that I owned back in the 90s when I collected. I actually had two of these bad boys. I have no idea where they are. They're no longer in my collection. But when I saw it sitting on Atomic Avenue for 10 bucks, I felt like it was time to go ahead and pull the trigger and get this one back into my collection. So serious nostalgic reasons for me pulling the trigger on getting this one back. But there is some speculation reasons as well. If you paid attention to the end of Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales, you may have noticed that little post-credit scene where they did tease Spider-Man 2099. So feels like there's a good chance that they're going to do something with Spider-Man 2099 Into the Spider-Verse 2. And so if that's the case, there's a lot of copies of this book. But there's also a lot of fans of Miles Morales and Into the Spider-Verse. So I think there's a lot of room for this one to grow, even though I did pay a whopping $10 for this lottery ticket. All right, the last one that I want to highlight on this episode of comic book lottery tickets that I'm hoping will explode and give me a nice little tidy profit, that is going to be the Crew #1. Now, the significance of this one, it is the first appearance of Josiah X, aka Josiah Bradley. And Josiah Bradley is, as you may have guessed, the son of Isaiah Bradley from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And there's a lot of speculation that eventually Josiah is going to come in to the MCU as well. Now, not a guaranteed at all, but when I saw this one on Atomic Avenue for $4, and I just watched the episode with Isaiah Bradley, I didn't hesitate to go ahead and pull the trigger on this one and get it into my collection. And if you look on Key Collector now for that one, it is listed at a whopping $45. So that's a $41 profit on that comic book lottery ticket already. And I think that, again, that is another one where it's not done rising. I think there's some real potential for that lottery ticket to get me some more gains. So I'm definitely not ready to put that one on the selling block just yet. I want to see where that goes. But that is all of my comic book lottery tickets that I've bought since the last video that I've dropped for you. If you have any thoughts or questions or comments about any of those picks, please drop down below and let me know what you thought down in the comments. I love this idea of spending $3 and speculating and maybe making a nice little tidy profit of it. And of course, part of the fun is going out and digging into these back boxes and seeing what steals you can find. That's also a great part of it. So having fun with this one. Let me know what you thought. Let me know, do you have any recent comic book lottery tickets that you pulled back a nice little tidy profit on? I love to hear about that. Inspire me. Give me hope that maybe I can do the same thing too. All right, that's all I got for you on this video. If you enjoyed that content, please go ahead and drop below and give me a like. And if you're looking for more content, go ahead and watch one of these videos right here. Thanks for coming through, fam. Peace.